Double K is a manufacturer of premium diving equipment in Korea, a vibrant and creative country. At Double K, we focus on constant research to develop innovative and comfortable products to enhance the experience of diving for our customers. We take pride in our cutting-edge and stylish designs, providing a sleek yet professional look whether you're in or out of the water. From wetsuits to fins, masks to equalization tools, Double K has all the freediving accessories you will need. Fall in love with your diving with Double K.
Atmos, inspired by the ocean. Location, speed, direction, altitude, atmosphere. Mission 2 is more than a watch. It follows you wherever you go. On the journey to ageless energy. We won't fear the unknown challenges. We won't hold back our curiosity. Your pulse, your tracks, your wake, the direction and achievement in your life. Distance and breath, merging with the ocean flow, our sweat cleansed in the currents. The world gets darker as we descend deeper. But your light will shine through the depth. A variety of color options. Each mission, too, embodies your personality.
Good morning, all of you beautiful people. Welcome to day 6 of the 29th AIDA Depth World Championships here in Roatan, Honduras. My name is Brendan Reed. I'm a freediving instructor, a breath training coach, and I will be your commentator for today, describing what's going on, answering any questions you may have, and generally talking at you basically non-stop. Today we are doing men's constant weight no fins, which means the men will be diving down without fins and will not be pulling on the line. They'll basically be doing a modified breaststroke, essentially is the easiest way to describe it. And we'll see that momentarily. We can see our start list for today. This is our complete list of divers. So 2 national record attempts, Alejandro also being a continental record attempt for South America. Should be good and lots of fun. Up first we have Dominic of Poland. He has announced 50 meters with an announced dive time of 2 minutes and 10 seconds. I've been misspeaking when Dominic has been diving the last few days. This is his first World Championship, not his first competition. He's been to I think he said around 12 competitions so far, and this is his first official World Championship. His goals during this competition are primarily to get used to the stress of dealing with a competition and sort of relaxing the nerves. A World Championship event like this one brings with it some extra stress. For any of you watching the any of the behind-the-scenes stuff, you know that there are a lot of extra people floating around. The dive eye guys are here, a lot of extra judges are here, we have a big safety team, a big medical team, all of whom are here to support the athletes. But it is definitely a much bigger setup than you would normally see at sort of a local small comp where there are just a few judges in the water, there's a judge on the beach or wherever you're starting from. And that can take some, that can add some extra stress to your dive, and so it takes some time to actually desensitize yourself to that, get used to that. There's also the added wrinkle that it's being televised, so you know that you are on television, people are watching you at home. This is different from a local competition where you're just diving in front of people generally that you know. There's a judge with a GoPro in your face as you go down and come back up. So there's definitely some extra stress associated with diving at a World Championship event.
It's 50 meters. The announced dive time is 2 minutes, 10 seconds. 2, 1, 0.
Here we can see Dominic demonstrating our no fins technique. Some of the things that we're looking for is for the heels to kick as close as you can to the butt while not sticking the knees out very far. We want to try and keep a streamlined position as much as we can, while also reloading the legs.
30, down.
Hi Magdalena, welcome back to the chat. Good to see you supporting all of your teammates.
40, down.
You can also see Dom has his hands inside of his, like tucked into his waist belt and safety lanyard. That is to help him stay relaxed and stay in a nice free fall position while also not using energy to hold his arms at his sides. Another thing that we're looking for in this technique is the hourglass motion of the arms. As we see, we start above the head, go out.
30, up.
We also see a bend in the elbow.
Diver with safety.
90-degree bend as the elbows, or as the arms go out to the sides. And then as soon as we reach or we pass that shoulder point, then we try and get them out of the way as quickly as possible. Because as soon as we move past that 90-degree, or that straight line across the shoulders, it then becomes very difficult to generate the power, and so it's easier, or it's more beneficial to get the arms out of the way, while also following through, and you can even see a flick of the wrists at the end to get a final little bit of power out of that arm stroke. He's okay. All of our divers need to show a clean surface protocol. Surface protocol being as they come up from the dive, their airways stay above the water, they remove facial equipment, give an okay sign with their fingers, and then verbally say I'm okay towards the judges. He has a tag as well. A diver can go all the way down to the bottom and not grab a tag. And if they do not grab the tag, that is a 1-point deduction and a yellow card. But obviously generally what you want to do is go all the way down to the bottom, grab the tag, because that tag signifies that you've completed the dive successfully. And the judges are not able to give you a white card unless you present that tag. So that is a white card for Dom. Big congratulations to him. Pretty easy dive. I've been diving for a while now, and looking forward to seeing him continue diving in the future. Take a moment to remind you guys that I am in the YouTube chat, so if you guys have any questions, any comments, it would be awesome to answer any questions you guys might have. Also make sure that you're following both myself at Brandon Freediver and AIDA Freediving on Instagram. I'm posting behind the scenes stuff. I'm also posting all of the start lists and results and all that good stuff on both of my account and the AIDA account. So make sure you're getting all the results as they come up, either on social media or on the link in the YouTube chat pinned to the top. Whew. We have a hot day today. Today, I don't know, it feels like 1,000,000 degrees sitting here in the sun. Goodbye. We just have our opener leaving for the day. Hey, Dom.
Hello.
You want to come jump on and say hi? Cool. Dom just completing his 50-meter dive, joining us here.
Thank you very much, man.
It's such a pleasure. How was it?
Good, really good, really good. I was quite stressed before, but yeah, it went very easy.
Yeah,
surprisingly easy.
Looked fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. What do you think about when you are getting ready for a dive, like laying on the surface? What do you think about?
So today I was thinking, like, I was reading myself that I'm very well prepared for this dive, and I've been doing that so many times that this kind of helps me relax and just think like it's just gonna be another one and ease the stress because of the competition.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know that I'm, like, I have capabilities to do that. So yeah, this helps me relax.
Good.
This is what I usually do at the competitions.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. And how has this competition been so far compared to your smaller and like more local competitions that you've been to?
First day was quite more stressful. I'd compare that to my first day at the competition ever. But other than that, I think I've done quite some competition already before. Mostly pool competitions, which are kind of more stressful because you know that you're gonna suffer a bit more, and here just there's like so many factors because you're with the best safety here. So this is kind of like, you know, reducing the stress, but then this is World Championship and everybody's looking at you. And yeah, my family's, I'm not sure if they were watching because I didn't send them a link today.
Okay.
I didn't want to, like, you know, increase the stress for myself.
Sure. That's fine.
But yeah, it's a bit different. You have great safety, great preparation, great conditions. Like, I've been never diving in such a good conditions.
Beautiful conditions. So we're gonna keep our voices down a little bit. I got yelled at yesterday for talking too loudly. Sydney will be diving up next, so it'll be cool to see. The conditions here are absolutely stunning. Haven't done a weather report yet today, but it's hot.
Yeah.
But the water is, as it's always been, beautiful, crystal clear, no current. No.
It used to be current here on the last World Championship, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so far it's just great. Just great. None. It's like better than pool.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's a beautiful place to dive.
Yeah.
I actually went diving just over there yesterday.
How was it?
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are these like sort of like almost shelves of coral. So you're going out, you're swimming out, and you're like, you know, maybe a meter under the water. And then there's like coral there, so you're trying to stay on top of the water as much as you can, and then suddenly it drops down to like 5 meters.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, cool.
I guess in like also somewhere here before, saw some nice big fish there.
Yeah, there's some big fish. We saw a turtle yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Which was super cool.
Nice.
And then as you go even deeper on that 5-meter shelf, it drops down again to about 20 meters, and it just. As you go, it gets less and less turquoise and more dark blue.
Yeah.
It's It's
yeah,
really
there's still a
cool.
place in West End. Yeah, here I saw for the first time eagle ray with like completely black with white dots.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I've seen so many rays, like hundreds of rays, where I used to live in Canary Islands. We're seeing rays every day, eagle rays and stingrays. But for the first time, I've seen such a beautiful ray, like, you know, just totally dark and white.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's beautiful. Okay. Let's see, I have a question. What kind of depth do these divers aim for to have neutral buoyancy? Is there a general rule or only down to personal preference? For diving competitively, let's see, you want to be neutrally buoyant, generally speaking, at around the top 1/3-ish of your dive.
Yeah, this is what the books are saying for recreational diving.
Right.
1/3 of your aim depth. For competition.
For competition?
Yeah, I prefer to be a little bit. Depends on the dive. Very much depends on the discipline. So yeah, like for example, today I made myself neutrally buoyant at 15 meters, so a little bit shallower than this. But I knew when I was diving in colder waters that I was wearing much more weights, so I kind of knew that I can lift this up.
Right.
But it was just when you make yourself negatively buoyant sooner, then you can relax more and focus on the free fall.
Right.
And this kind of helps you relax your upper body. So for example, for free immersion, I prefer to make myself negatively buoyant quite soon, because I know that this is like physically not so demanding dive. So I know that I can pull myself up from 70 meters easily.
Right.
But I don't want to have contractions sooner, so I can relax more on the way down.
Exactly. Really quickly, we have Sydney Regis of France, also attempting a 50-meter dive. Once again, seeing that technique, kicking the heels to the butt, the arm stroke, again trying to keep the elbows out and catch water as he goes.
20 down.
Yeah, what you say about buoyancy is definitely important, especially at this competitive level, because some divers do prefer to be more positively buoyant, deeper, because then at the end of the dive, when it's really hard, they get lighter and lighter they get lighter more quickly, and so they're able to float to the surface better.
Yeah.
Alexei Molchanov is like that. I don't think he wears any weight anymore when he dives.
Only for free immersion, I believe.
Only for free immersion, yes.
40 down.
And it's exactly as you said, it's because he wants to free fall quickly.
Yeah,
and
I think this is very much depends on diver. If you struggle with equalization or if you struggle with your breath hold more. So for example, for me, equalization is something that I have to improve. And that's why I prefer to postpone my contraction, put overall a bit more energy into my dive, but postpone my contraction. So for example, I also don't risk my squeeze or anything like that.
Yeah. Sydney on his way up. Getting a really nice view of that arm pull there. Something that we can notice if we look very closely at Sydney's fingers is that they are slightly separated.
Safety team.
You would think that by separating your fingers you would let water go through, but since divers are moving their hands so quickly through the water, the water doesn't have time to go through the fingers, so you actually catch more water if they're slightly separated, allowing you to pull more. It's very interesting. Giving a little look up to the surface.
Diver approaching.
This discipline is is definitely one of the more technically challenging and physically challenging of the disciplines. Maybe even the most most difficult.
The most physical, might I want to say the most difficult. I don't know. I just feel the water so well when I'm without equipment.
Sure, that's true.
Yeah, I feel like my dive reflex kicks so much better when I do CNF dive or DNF dive.
Okay, now we're waiting. And a white card. Very nicely done.
55. Waiting to dive up the line. Okay. Line 3.
Okay. Beautiful. Cool.
I guess I'm gonna go and say congrats to Sydney.
Cool. Sounds good. Yeah. Anybody want to?
Oh, yeah, I wanted to say hi to all of my friends, all of my diving buddies, especially to Mate from Tenerife, who is my best instructor and buddy and friend. Also to my first instructor, Tristan, for teaching me the best practices. And to all my everyday buddies, to Michał, to Tomek, Igor, to Arabel, I hope I didn't miss anyone. But yeah, everybody, to Hania, just to everybody I dive with, and to all my friends, all my family.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you, Brandon,
thank you so
for
much
having
for coming
me.
by. Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Cool. Enjoy your rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you soon.
Cool. Awesome. Let me do a quick scoot over here. Okay. Actually, while I'm over here, I'll scoot this way. Over in the distance, there we go. So the orange boat in the back, you can see is our emergency evac boat. That boat is here in case of any emergency. If, for example, our medical staff, who are sat directly behind me, okay, there we go, yeah. So off on the far right you can see the emergency evac boat. That boat is there in case we need to quickly send a diver back to the shore for an escalation of medical attention. The second boat over to the left is the boat that the divers will use to get all their wetsuits on, get ready, hold on to their equipment while they're out here. The buoys you can see between that white boat and the platform are the warm-up buoys. Divers are allowed to spend some time on those buoys getting ready. If they want to do any dives, any hangs before beginning, they are allowed to do so there. I think the maximum depth that we have on those buoys is 40 meters, and those are always being watched by safeties. And then in the foreground we have the dry platform. That is where our athletes will sit to rest and relax right before their dive, and then coming towards the camera even more is the actual dive area where the divers are competing. You can see we have a lot of divers in the water. Most of those are safeties. We also have a few judge assistants. Safeties are responsible, as the name implies, for safety. They are diving with our divers to make sure that at depth they are they are safe, they are supported. As they come up, there are other safeties on the surface who are there to support a diver in case of a hypoxic event, LMC, blackout, that sort of stuff. There are other safeties, so they're always working in teams. So when one team is going down, the next team is breathing up on the surface, resting and relaxing for the next dive. Let's see, who else? We have the judge assistants who are going around and giving the official dive computers to our athletes. Divers dive with an official dive computer given to them to track their depth on their dive. These computers do not have their own alarms, and divers are not allowed to set their own alarms on those dive computers. So that's why you'll often see a diver with a wrist watch on, a dive gauge on, and then also like a little thing on top of their head inside their wetsuit, or a dive computer on their neck weight, or even on their wrist as well. They need to have their own dive computer if they have their own alarms. And generally divers also like to track all of their metrics of their dive speed, their dive time, all of that. So yeah, cool. So the judge assistants are going back and forth, and they are giving these dive computers to the athletes and then removing them. And then we have two judges on the platform. We have one sitting on the platform dry, and another judge, in the water. And they're making sure that the rules are adhered to, that the surface protocol is completed correctly, all that good stuff. Cool. Let's see.
3 minutes to official time.
What else do I have for you guys? Let's see. Let's go to the questions in case there are any. Frank, it is such a pleasure. Glad to have been able to help. Okay, great. Up next we have Jaiku of Chinese Taipei. You can see him grabbing onto the line with his toes. That is something that a lot of divers will do to just stabilize themselves while they're doing their breathe up, or their relaxation phase as we call it now. And then as they come up to the surface, they will again use their toes to grab on to keep themselves out of the water and hold themselves up. Jaiku was recently at the vertical blue competition. I'll quickly pull up his results from that for you guys so you can know what he did. Let's see.
10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Special shot. Plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Divers QJ representing Taipei.
I'm not seeing his
Ground
results.
depth is 55 meters. Dive time is 2 minutes.
Interesting.
40 seconds. 240.
No, there he is. Found him. Let's see. So during the competition, he set a few national records. Free immersion at 106, constant weight 108, constant weight bifins 96, and free immersion 108.
30 down.
He dove all 6 days. First day received a red card, unfortunately, but all their days absolutely killed it.
40 down.
Very strong diver, been in the community for a while now.
$50 down. Touchdown. Coming up.
Giving a very strong pull at the bottom in that candy cane area. Divers are allowed to grab the line in that area as much as they want, but as soon as they grab outside of that line, that is a red card and a disqualification.
40 up.
This is a 55-meter attempt.
$30 up.
Well within his limits for equalization.
$20 up.
Please do show your support in the chat. Ooh, we've got some shade up here from the clouds. Grabbing up nice and high in the line, keeping his airways out of the water. Every now and then we do have some rogue boat wake come through, and I will rock the platform a little bit. So it's always good to grab up as high as you can on that line. Keep your airways out of the water, as that is one of the things that the judges are looking for, because if your airways dip below the water, that is a disqualification.
White card.
That's a white card for Jaiku. Congratulations. Hi Mia. Good to see you in the chat.
Dive down, stand by, line is free. 2 miles right.
Sophine, no fishes there. Yes, we are sitting at about 180 meters of depth right now, even though we are quite close to shore. There have been a few fish swimming around, especially at depth. I think on the first day we may have seen a small school of fish swim by on one of the dives at around 60 or 70 meters. But generally, yeah, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere at the moment. So there's not much for fish to really hang out around, except for if you include the platform. Fish love structure. I don't know if you all know that or not. Which is why whenever you go diving, generally you don't see much on sandy bottoms, but you do see tons on outcrops and on coral that comes out of the ocean and all that sort of stuff. Oh, let's see. Can you explain what is Dive-Eye? Talk about it, but you didn't say what it is. I can absolutely talk about Dive-Eye. Dive-Eye is an amazing piece of technology that lets you guys at home watch this competition. It is a yellow underwater drone that basically is attached to a line on the platform, and the drone gets pulled up and down as the diver is going up and down. That footage from the Dive-Eye is not only used to stream to you guys, we also use it for, just to keep an eye on the diver, use it as a supplement to the underwater sonar that we use to track the divers, make sure they're okay, all of that. And then also it's really cool to have the additional footage for training purposes for the athletes and all of that stuff. It's a really cool piece of equipment. The team behind Dive-Eye is absolutely fantastic. And I'll be posting some photos of the Dive-Eye a little bit later on today, so you guys can get a little peek of what it looks like. But it's basically a yellow torpedo that goes up and down on a line. Super cool. Let's see. Cool. Up next, we have Mark Laszlo of the US, attempting a 60-meter dive with an announced dive time of 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Mark has had a great competition so far. On the constant weight bifins day, he did 65 meters. On the free immersion day, constant weight bifins is where you swim down using a pair of bifins, not touching the line. Free immersion, which he did 70 meters, is where you pull yourself down the line, not using fins, not kicking, only pulling with your hands. And then today we have constant weight no fins. So we'll see how he does today, but I suspect an easy white card for Mark. This is his personal best depth as well. So we'll see how that goes. A moment ago we were looking at Mark's hand placement. His hand placement was set with his thumb facing down with the lanyard clip sitting on top of it. Divers will do that in order to basically keep that lanyard out of the way of when they do their duck dive and when they begin their arm pulls and their kicks down. There we see Jun, one of our judge assistants, also one of the main people over at Double K, our main sponsor, along with Atmos. Huge thanks to them, to the Mayan Princess Resort and the Paradise Beach Hotel. Those are our 4 main sponsors for this competition. Huge props to you guys. We couldn't do this without you.
To official top.
There we can see that official dive gauge on Mark's wrist. Again, that is one that was given to him by the judges to track his overall depth. The judges will use that just to verify depth, make sure the dive was completed successfully, in addition to also grabbing the tag. Mark says that freediving has been instrumental in improving his health. It's helped him in sleep and in diet and to even planning his week. He finds that it helps him consider his actions more and really think about how what he does today will impact his future. Which is absolutely true. I mean, freediving really requires you to take a moment to slow down. Freediving is not a sport that you can do quickly, and really, if you do it quickly, you can spend, ironically, even less time underwater. You want to keep your heart rate relaxed, you want to keep it slow, you want to keep your mind relaxed. And if you can do that, you will be successful as a diver. And that's why so many freedivers would echo Mark's sentiment, is because, we as freedivers need to slow down our dives, slow down our thoughts, and as such, as you begin to live this freediving lifestyle, it slowly bleeds into other aspects of your day-to-day life. Mark took a few packs there on the surface. Packing is an advanced technique used by freedivers to add more air into their lungs. This does slightly impact the overall amount of oxygen that you have available to you, but primarily what packing is used for is to allow you to take a mouthfill deeper.
20 down.
Let's see, we can see his cheeks are puffed out now. There we go. So that's him taking his mouthfill at around 25 meters. He may top up a little bit. Mouthfill is a technique used by divers to... Okay, yeah, so there we saw him. He topped up his mouthfill and lost a little bit of it. Which lets us know that he was totally full. Mouthfill is a technique used by freedivers to basically allow themselves to equalize deeper and deeper than, or more deep than residual volume.
50 down.
For those that know and have taken a freediving course, as you go deeper and deeper, the air in your lungs begins to get squished and gets more concentrated.
Touchdown. Coming up.
There we go. Grabbing a tag and coming up. It looks like there might be a little bit of current down there. It's difficult to say.
50 up.
Basically what mouthfill is divers will move air from their lungs up to their mouth while they're still able to, doing a sound.
40 up.
In doing that,
Diver with safety.
They then close their glottis, or their vocal folds, and then begin equalizing by basically smiling with their cheeks.
30
and
up.
Doing that will increase the pressure in the oral cavity, which will then move it to the nasal cavity, which will then move through the eustachian tubes, forcing them open, and will then equalize the middle ears.
20 up.
Divers need to take their mouthfill before they hit residual volume, because otherwise they cannot totally fill their mouths to the extent that they need to take that air all the way down. So we're seeing Mark unfortunately have an LMC on the surface. It does look a little freaky, but he should recover pretty quickly. We can see our safety divers remove his facial equipment are giving him rescue breaths and are blowing across his face. They're doing that because he has receptors in his cheeks. We all do, not just Mark. They have receptors in their cheeks that can actually sense when our faces are out of the water. In doing that, by blowing across the face, we know our body can sort of tell that we're out, and will then say, okay, cool, we're now safe to breathe again. Relax the throat, open the mouth, and then begin breathing. So he's awake, doing okay. Maybe a little frustrated.
Yeah, fine.
Saying that he's fine. Divers will come back very quickly from blackout like that. The blackouts that we see and deal with during freediving are not the same as what you see when someone gets knocked out in a fight, for example. In a fight, you are experiencing legitimate brain trauma where your brain is bouncing around inside of your skull and your brain shuts down because of that, and then you black out. In freediving, what is actually happening is we first see our diver is conscious, then they begin to have a bit of an LMC where they start to dance around a little bit. LMC stands for loss of motor control, otherwise called a samba because it kind of looks like you're dancing a little bit. And then from there, you move into blackout. And basically what your body is doing is it's shutting itself down to conserve the rest of the oxygen in your body for the brain. It's a safety mechanism that we have. It is physically draining. It is mentally draining and can be a little scarring as well. Some divers have never experienced a blackout in their entire career. Other divers have experienced many. Obviously, we never want to be experiencing blackouts. That is not something that is fun, but it can happen. If you want to learn how to avoid blackouts and dive safely and have a good time diving, go take a freediving course. Your instructor will give you everything that you need to know to dive safely. They will work on you with your technique. You'll learn all the physiology and all the different aspects about how freediving works. And you'll actually become a certified freediver, which is great. Cool. If you guys have any questions, again, I'm here. Please do ask away. Okay. IO nice. Let's see. Yeah, safeties do not want to grab our athletes too early. As soon as they touch an athlete, that is a disqualification for the athlete. I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. Safeties have one of the hardest jobs here because they have the ability to end a dive for a diver, either intentionally or accidentally. They have to be able to balance out keeping a diver safe and also allowing them to push and go for their dives. Yeah, it's just one of the tough jobs here. Yes, Janeth, the safety divers have been working very hard to train. They've been working basically non-stop running drills. They've done a full evac test just to sort of make sure that everything is running smoothly. Getting a diver from the water to the platform, giving oxygen, all that sort of stuff, calling the evac boat, getting the boat to shore, and then the shore, from the shore, taking the ambulance to the medical building. Yes, they've worked very, very hard, and definitely the divers feel quite safe. I've been talking to quite a few, and they're really happy with the service, the strength of this dive team.
Where did I go? What time? What depth?
1 minute 30.
No, when did I lose?
Okay, we have Mark Anup up next. There we see one of our photographers in the background. We have two photographers here.
1 minute.
We have Camilo and Luke. Let's see. Camilo something photography on Instagram and Luke Cooley on Instagram. Make sure you're going to follow them. They're doing a really great job capturing all the action, creating really nice photo packs for our athletes. And to be fair, they also have a tough job. For every one dive that an athlete does, they're doing 2 dives. They're diving down to get to a certain depth before the athletes do, so they can get shots of them coming down and going to the deep, and then they come back up, do a little bit of a breath, dive once again back down, and then catch them on the way back up again. And yeah, I mean, you know, we have what, 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 divers today. So that's 34 drops at least, not including any of the ones that they did in warm-up, any of the ones they do trying to catch other bits of content. I think yesterday Camilo had over 50 drops.
Mark Anup, representing USA. The announced depth is 60 meters. Dive time is 2 minutes 40. 2, 4, go!
Okay. Mark has announced 60 meters.
20, down!
You see he's already slowed down his kicking and arm pulling quite a bit. As we were talking about with Dominic, each diver chooses their weighting differently. Some divers prefer to be more
40,
heavy. Other divers prefer to be more light. Heavier divers hit free fall earlier, while lighter divers have to work harder to get through that positive buoyancy on the surface, but have a much easier time getting back up to the surface on their way back.
Touchdown!
Touching down, grabbing the tag.
Here, I'm good. I don't need this.
50, up!
You can see that little button on the back of his neck. That is his dive computer. That is his own personal dive computer with his own alarm set on it. Divers will put their dive computer in their wetsuit on their neck, attached to their neck weight, generally trying to keep it close to their ears at depth. And while you're doing your dive and your free fall, you can sort of get into almost like a trance, or just like totally bliss out. And you can miss your dive alarm if it's not close to your head. I've missed many dive alarms because it was on my wrist and not in my hood. And when I started switching to putting it in my hood, it made a world of difference. I've been using the Mission 1 for about a year now, and it's absolutely fantastic. Mission 1, the first dive computer by Atmos. Mission 2 is out now. Okay. He's okay. And you notice him continuing to recover. Ooh, that's a big loogie. Nice. Freedivers have some of the best things come out of our faces. You noticed him doing strong recovery breathing after, even after he did his surface recovery. That's a white card from Mark. Beautifully done.
Next depth is 61
Very nice.
meters. One down.
Yes.
61 meters,
Divers can and should continue doing their recovery breaths after they give their surface protocol. This is because even if you do your 3 recovery breaths, you may not be fully recovered from your dive. I have seen many athletes who come up, they're looking nice and fresh, they don't do enough recovery, and they have a LMC on the surface, even after they've given their surface protocol and they have done everything else. So it really goes to show how important your surface recovery is. Recovery breaths are something that divers will use to make sure that they are oxygenating their blood while also not dropping the partial pressure of gases in the lungs.
Hi, Mom.
You're gonna come join me, Mark?
Sorry?
Do you want to come join me?
I'm gonna take some oxygen.
Cool. Cool. All right. Look at all that support in the chat. Love that. Okay, cool. Very nice. Up next, we have Michael Ko of Chinese Taipei. He's announced 61 meters. Excuse me. Oh man, it's hot today. I am struggling here in the sun. Today is the first day in a while that it's been completely and totally sunny. There are little fluffy clouds here and there. You can see clouds in the background, although they are not, unfortunately, giving me support at the moment. But yeah, no, today's definitely a hot one. I'm looking forward to the break where I get to jump in. Cool. All right, let me pull up my notes from Michael. Met him last year at the at the AIDA World Championship in Cyprus. There we go. Please explain the difference of quality in freediving loogies. Ooh, that's a good question. Gross question. What can happen is if you, so as a lot of divers know, if you are congested, you should not be diving. It's generally not advised because it means that you have a lot of stuff in your sinuses, and as you go down more and more, you can get a sinus block, where basically the mucus in your sinuses has stopped, or has sort of created a mini air pocket. And because you can't equalize that mini air pocket, the air continues to get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then eventually, because there's a bunch of soft tissue in the sinuses, it will begin to pull blood to the surface, and you can get a nosebleed because of it. Similarly, if you're going down, and you're pushing, you're forcing, and then you feel the thing go, as you go back up, that air that you forced in there is going to expand again. And that expansion can also cause damage to those tissues. Something else that I've found, though, is if you have a little bit of stuff in there, the first few dives, you will get some nasty stuff coming out of your face. Because of that same thing. There's a little bit of broken up mucus in there, and the movement of blowing and equalizing your sinuses, that can sort of expand the tissues in there overall, which will move things around, and then as you come back up again, those sinuses will start to close down again, and things will be moving. And then you come up and you release the beast. And it is awesome and disgusting and feels gross and relieving. So Nils, I hope that answers your question. And for those that are grossed out, I do apologize. Yes, Nils, you are much wiser now. You have grown as a human being because of this conversation we've just had together. No, guys, don't encourage me on this. Don't encourage this conversation. Okay, we have Michael Ko up next. I'm changing the subject. Michael Ko from Chinese Taipei, announced 61 meters, has had a great competition so far. 2 white cards. Offhand, I don't have the results in front of me, though. He did 64 meters in vertical blue for no fins. He also holds the national record at the moment at 64 meters. He was considering breaking again, doing 65. But he wants to save his energy for the constant weight day. It's something that a lot of the divers are taking into consideration now, as constant weight day is one of the harder days. It's one of the deeper days. No, sorry, he's done 91 constant weight bifins, 91 free immersion, and is now doing 61, which is much deeper than, or much shallower than his personal best.
Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Special top. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Please do spam your support in the chat. Wave those flags. Love to see it. Michael taking some big packs.
Crazy. On the line, we have Michael Z. Jaiku,
Okay.
representing Taipei. Announced depth is 61 meters. Announced dive time is 2 minutes.
Again, we can take a good look at his technique here.
1, 8.
He's keeping his knees pretty in line with his body, while also kicking his heels back up to his butt. And then as he kicks and follows through, he moves to point his toes, so we can see right there. He is using a sort of unique free fall position. Not many people use this position where he puts his hands resting on his back. He says that he finds this very relaxing and definitely keeps him more streamlined. Ooh, this glare. There we go. Okay, yeah. So you can see nice and in line. Looking up a little bit at the bottom.
Coming up.
Generally, you don't want to look up at depth. That's because at pressure, the movement
50 up.
can actually cause a trachea squeeze. All of these terms that we're using, squeezes, are basically describing pressure-related injuries, where essentially what's happening is the soft tissue is being either getting too much pressure or sort of almost being pulled, sort of like getting a hickey. And the blood is pulled to the surface of the tissue, and then you bleed into those areas. And when you look up quite quickly or quite intensely, what can happen is that your throat is not well adjusted, or your lungs aren't well adjusted, or whatever it might be, isn't adjusted to that pressure, that drastic change in pressure, and it pulls the blood to the tissue, and you hurt yourself, and that is not great. But looking totally fine. Grabbing up high as always. making very much sure that we know that he has the tag. And a white card for Michael. Well done. Representing hard. Love it. Vladi Fino asks, I noticed today that athletes are doing moderate depth and would guess it's because CNF is more physical. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, CNF day is usually the quote, most shallow of the days at a competition. That said, we're still seeing a 60 or an 82 meter attempt coming up soon with Abdelatif Al-Wash of France. So yes, so athletes will announce more shallow. It is much more physically taxing than the other disciplines. Also much more technical. And yeah, something that I really love about this discipline is that it's one of those that you can start out and you can sort of get the basic idea of it, but it will take a lifetime to master. There are so many different facets to constant weight no fins, from the ankle position throughout the kick, going from flexed to extended at the end, the ability for you to flex your hips enough to keep your knees in a nice streamlined position while also kicking your feet up to your butt, the arm stroke. All of these things have a little bits of impact across the overall dive time and the overall depth that you can reach. Which is always why I say, if you're going to start training technique and get your technique down correct. If you have good technique, that is 80% of what you need to do your dives. The rest of what you need is training and time and experience. Yeah. But if you practice all the training and stuff before you practice technique, you will struggle a bit because you have a tendency to develop, dare I say, negative habits that you then need to break down once again and basically relearn the technique before you can actually begin progressing deeper again. I know that is the case not only with physical training, but also with mental training. I know Adam Stern has a good video on that from a few years ago. I think the thumbnail says, "Steel Yourself, Adam," where he's talking about basically how he used to dive by knowing that each dive was going to suck and be difficult and hurt. But that was just how you needed to dive. And since then he has trained himself, he's retrained his mind, and now only dives knowing that he's going to feel good and enjoy himself, and he's seen amazing benefits and results from that. Yeah, Emily, that was a quick dive. Daniel Vidal asks, what is the temperature of the water? I believe we are at around 28 degrees at the moment. Divers in their 1.5 mil wetsuits, generally, I think I've seen maybe 1 or 2 3 mil wetsuits. Definitely warm. What we need to consider, though, is that some of these divers are also doing warm-ups. Doing warm-ups on a buoy means they spend more time in the water, and a lot of the time with freedivers, what you're actually doing is just sitting still. And sitting still in the water can make you quite cold, even if the water is really, really warm. So we do see some divers who will basically either wear a thicker wetsuit knowing that they're going to spend more time in the water, or they will wear a thin wetsuit and either do no warm-up or maybe one warm-up and then get out and then lay in the sun. and that's just to make sure that they stay nice and warm during or for their dive. There is no thermocline. I mean, I believe I've heard there's a thermocline sitting at around 180 meters, which is definitely not even close to what we're getting to in this comp. Really any comp getting to that, maybe unless you're doing a no limits dive. But even still, yeah, so there's no thermocline. These divers are nice and comfy. Sorry, 28. Did I say 18C? I mean 28C, which is 82-ish Fahrenheit. Up next we have Jordan Lavea Alvarez of Cuba. He's announced 62 meters. This will be a national record attempt.
1 minute.
Rooting for you, Jordan. Jordan is a super nice guy. Met him at the Cyprus Depth World Comp last year. If you follow him on Instagram, 90% of his content is him doing squats. This man has some of the biggest thighs I have ever seen on a human being. And yes, I am including Alexei Molchanov in that as well. Jordan works so hard to train. He's also a big cyclist. And I know that recently he was actually quite sick, and actually he was telling me that he lost quite a bit of weight due to this sickness over a few weeks. Feeling much better now, but sort of still recovering from his body basically eating itself while he was sick. Which is not great when you want to put on a bunch of muscle for a world championship.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. On the line we have Jordan Lavea Alvarez representing
Okay.
Cuba.
Jordan is on his way down.
The announced dive time is 3:00, which is a national record attempt for Cuba. Wow. 20 down.
Vámonos, Jordan. Let's go.
$30 down.
Continuing to pull.
40 down.
Entering free fall now. You see him holding onto his belt. Help keep himself in a nice tucked in position.
50 down.
You'd think that it'd be nice and easy to remember to keep yourself in a streamlined position. But again, as you're diving, your mind is... Ooh, we got an early turn at 56.
50 up. He's pulling. Diver is pulling.
Oh, so he has switched to free immersion. A diver is allowed to grab onto the line if they want to come up more quickly, conserve more oxygen. So this means, unfortunately, that Jordan will be receiving a red card. But I also know that Jordan is much more of a constant weight diver at the end of the day anyway.
20 up.
And so this is probably him conserving his energy more for the next day. We also see safety supporting him, just knowing that he wants to make sure, just make sure that he's okay. He'll be totally fine, totally clean here. A little frustrating. Still a smile on his face. Something to note is that, you know, even if you do an early turn or you switch disciplines and disqualify yourself, you can still have a nice dive. Like, you know, free fall can feel really good. The dive itself can feel really good. Sometimes you just don't want to do the attempt, and that's totally okay.
We're going down 16.
Cool. Hey, Michael.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Good. Congratulations on your dive.
And yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Did you see my surface?
I did, grabbing up nice and high, as you always do.
Higher than ever.
Trying to climb out of the water completely.
Yes.
Is there a specific reason that you do that? Just for fun?
Just to, yeah, for fun.
Okay.
It's not a good way to do any extra movement or consume
True.
extra oxygen after. You should just stay there, you know.
Sure.
Don't let your blood pressure go up.
That's
just
true.
everything that you shouldn't do. So
So don't do what you did.
yes, don't do what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do as you say, not as you do.
Yes.
Perfect. Cool. Yeah, how did your dive feel?
It was so good.
Yeah?
It was so good to the point that I was just like, okay, I'm down there. I was like, okay. And I remember coming up, I was like, wait, I'm meeting the safety already? Like now already? I was like, I'm already halfway there? There's no way. And then, of course, our sponsor, Mission 2.
Yep, Atmos.
Atmos, they have the Mission 2, which have the ascent alarm. Which
okay.
is something I don't think anyone has this.
No, I don't think so.
And so I set it at 30, so I can
Okay.
know that, oh, I'm at 30. It's like almost halfway.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, 30, nice. So I was
That's
like,
awesome.
this is gonna be a super clean dive, and I see 2 safety, 1 safety. I'm like, I mean 1 more.
Yeah.
And I was like, easy.
Easy dive. Easy
So,
dive.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 5 meters shallower than my PB, so it's really a dive just to match the number of my previous 2 dives, which is
Sure.
just having number 1 at the end.
Yes.
91, 61.
Love it.
Yeah, so
And you're trying to go for the overall podium, hey?
maybe. I mean, not. I am. Not-
Maybe. No, definitely.
yeah, I am.
Yeah.
There's many people actually skip like today's discipline or even bifins or free immersion. So there's actually a lot more athlete who's more experienced, better than me, but they decided not to go for all 4 discipline.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, there are some divers who specialize. I know the French team often brings a lot of athletes who are specialists in one of their disciplines or
Yes.
another. And then others come and they just do every single one.
yeah.
And it's ultimately up to you to decide how you want to do your competition, and what your own goals are and what you want to achieve. So awesome, that's great.
Yeah, and one thing I want to promote is resting is important. So
That's so true.
there's so many people skipping today so that they can have a better performance in their constant weight.
That's exactly
Which is
right.
something that I was thinking about doing as well.
Yeah.
But then at the end I was like, I'll just do a shallower dive and I'll still do it and go for the overall.
Yeah. I mean, that's also sometimes what we see lower announcements on CNF days. Some divers will use this day as sort of a day to get in the water still, keep themselves motivated and excited, have an easy win, announce something a little bit more shallow.
Yes.
And yeah, other divers will absolutely go for it too. So we're seeing that with Abdel
Yes.
later on today.
So that's why I think it's quite a good sequence what they do. So like bifins, free immersion, like bifins legs, legs,
Exactly.
upper body mix so you can skip, and then the last one is also
Is
a full
legs.
body.
Yeah, full body.
But legs major. Yeah.
Yes, definitely legs major. Awesome. Yeah. Cool.
And if I really got that white, I think
Yes.
I'm.
This will put you
the browns.
in third place at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, which is super exciting.
that will be the first medal Taiwan. Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Yes.
Okay.
We ever have in
that's super
the
cool.
World Championship. So really excited.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, like the top 5 dives always get reviewed by the judges, and they make sure that there's no the rules are all being followed. The dive is actually totally clean, and then they announce their results, preliminary results. Judges have the opportunity, athletes have the opportunity then to protest,
Yes.
go through the protest process, and then the final results are released after that.
Yes.
So even though the results that we're seeing now are pretty much going to be the ones that we get at the end of the day, the official results will not be released until maybe around 4 o'clock.
No. Later than that. Like
Later than that.
around 5, I would say.
Okay,
And
5
you-
o'clock.
Sometime. Yeah, 4 or 5, and you need some time to protest.
Yeah.
So
True. Very true.
yeah.
Okay, nice. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, we have Alejandro Linas of Colombia coming up next. He's going to be attempting a national and continental record. So it should be another good one.
Big dive, and it's one of his best discipline, I would say. I think it's his favorite discipline as well. He's super strong. His body type and physiques is kind of built for CNF, actually.
Yeah.
To have such a lean muscle mass and strong, and you know, some of the height, long
Definitely.
legs, long arms advantage. So
yeah, definitely. He's definitely a strong competitor here at this competition.
And a really lovely, cute cap as
The
well.
cap, yeah. The hot pink.
Yes.
You gotta love it. I'm here for it. Let's see. Question regarding the training of athletes. Is there a limit to the number of dives an athlete can make to the depth of 50 meters plus in a day? Is there a risk of decompression sickness? Yeah, I'll quickly answer that. Yeah, divers diving beyond 50 meters generally want to do maybe 2 dives at most, maybe 3 if you're really pushing it. And the deeper you go, the less dives you want to be doing. So, I mean, divers who are diving to 70, 80 meters plus are doing 1 dive in a day. And that is partially because of just the gases being moved from the lungs into the blood. And can potentially result in decompression sickness if you really push too hard. Generally, with 1 dive, you'll be okay. Again, depending on the depth that you're going to. Also depending on the amount that you pack on the surface.
And also the dive time.
And the dive time, yes. The longer you spend at pressure, the higher the concentration of gas is going into your blood, the more air you bring down overall. Means the higher concentration of nitrogen that you're starting out with.
Yes.
Which means more is going to flow into your blood more quickly. And then doing multiple dives at depth at pressure, that continues to compound on itself.
Yes.
So the deeper you dive, the more dives you do, the greater you open yourself up to the risk of decompression sickness and other gas-related injuries.
Yes.
Which is why we always talk about a appropriate surface interval and appropriate rest time between your dives. And again, you can learn all about that when you take your freediving courses.
30 down.
230, big mouthfeel. 1 extra kick.
Yeah, we see a lot of divers taking a few kicks after they stop doing their arm pulls. Can you say why that might be?
So it's like, because you want to put your hands down in a relaxed position, but you still want to add just a little bit speed. So that's what you do with the leg kick. Just add some little speed without breaking your relaxation in your free fall.
Right, so keeping that momentum up as you go deeper and deeper while not sort of adding more drag by reloading the arms.
Yes. And as you go deeper, the movement of bringing your hands up, it's will stretch your lungs in a way.
That's true, yeah.
So, I mean, people just go with the leg kick.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
coming up.
Okay. So pulling within the candy cane, so he's okay.
Yes.
As I said before, divers are allowed to pull as much as they want in that that candy cane area, but as soon as they grab outside of that line, it is a disqualification.
Wow, he's enjoying himself.
Up.
I believe his eyes closed? I can't really see from the screen.
His eyes do look closed.
Just enjoying. It's really the discipline that,
50
you know,
up.
one thing that William Trowbridge said about no fins is that you get that just slight moment, like now,
Mat safety at 40.
that you are completely relaxed during your dive. You're like hands down, legs straight, and just feeling the water, the glide.
Yeah.
You don't have that in all the other discipline.
Yeah, that's
Free
right.
immersion, your hands is still up.
Right, you're still always reloading.
Yes, but not no fins. So.
Yeah, this is the only one where you get to actually like fly on the way back up too.
And I love it.
Yeah.
20 up.
I'm always so happy when I'm gonna do a no fins,
Nice.
Like no narcosis, no equalization problem. Just enjoying the dive.
Just doing the dive.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
Coming up, looking.
Okay. Removing his nose clip underwater. Whoop. So, looks like his airways may
don't
have
touch it. Okay.
dipped a little bit below the water.
Can't see. Keep breathing.
Okay.
Stay strong.
Yeah, keep breathing. Looking okay now. We'll have to see what the judges say. They may say that his airways dipped, which would be a red card, unfortunately. We'll see what the judges saw. Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah. So his airways did
Definitely-
dip low.
Yeah.
He does have the opportunity to challenge this.
I would always do challenge.
Yeah.
I mean, or watch it in slow-mo and
Watch it in slow-mo first.
and then check if your upper lips is actually in the water.
Right.
And oh
Yeah.
no. This is
Yeah, frustrating.
really strong. This is a strong dive. It
Very
was
strong dive.
So close. That was
Yeah. Oh, frustrating. If for anybody who's watching in the live stream, if you could go back and just take a quick look and see if his lips did dip below the water. I think they did, but it'd be nice to have some confirmation. Let's see. So, Haikozo asks, just wondering why it's called constant. What is constant?
constant. It means constant, like the same weight
Yes.
down, same weight up.
Right.
You can't just bring a bunch of weight down and just drop it and come up. Basically,
Right.
That's
And this partially goes into the other depth disciplines in freediving of variable weight and no limits.
yes.
In variable weight, what you do is you ride a sled down, and then you let go of the sled at depth and you swim your way back up. And in no limits, you ride a sled all the way down. At the bottom, you open a gas bottle, fill a parachute with air, and it pulls you back up to the surface again. So that is no limits.
Yes.
So then, in contrast, with this is constant weight. So you take a constant weight down around your neck, around your waist, all the way down with you. You bring that weight all the way back up. It is constant.
Yes.
Cool. That's a good question.
And AIDA, which is what we have for this comp, we don't have no limits ever.
Right.
It's quite a dangerous discipline, which you are basically, it's the discipline that you can go the deepest. You're not doing any work on the way down and on the way up.
Right.
And that is, we have like Herbert Nitsch, who
Herbert
went
Nitsch.
to like 216 or something. And
Yeah.
this is the kind of depth that we could have DCS just from the dive.
Just from the dive
like
itself.
immediately. So you actually have to decompress during the dive.
Right.
Which is something crazy. Imagine you're going down and up and you have to stop somewhere.
Yeah.
Just-
And sit and
and
let some
statics.
gas go. Yeah.
Do some statics underwater before
Yeah.
you get
It's definitely a very dangerous discipline.
up.
I mean, generally, when you hear of a record attempt in no limits, it's a independently organized competition. Generally, not one that is being done by.
Like 10, 20 athletes.
Right,
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. There's another question here. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we'll take a look at it later. Okay. Only a tiny dip. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll end up challenging it. Although it's difficult to say once you actually review the footage yourself. Yeah, we'll have to see. Sometimes it happens, you know?
It's
It's just so frustrating on a dive where everything has gone so well, everything's nice and clean, and then the last bit of it.
it was like a super tiny,
Right.
like a little shake that was really nothing.
Yeah. Oh, but unfortunately that is the
We
way
will see.
rules
We will
work.
see.
We will see, though.
We will see.
I'm sure there will be a challenge.
Yes.
And either way, the judges will review that dive as it was one of the top 5.
Yes.
So they may change their decision themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. We have our final diver for this part of the stream, Abdelatif Alouache, coming up now from France. Huge diver during this competition. Let's see, placed first in bifins on the first day, and then placed second in free immersion the other day.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yes, I don't have his numbers in front of me at the moment.
I remember he. Ooh, I kind of. I mean,
let's quickly take a
bifins
look.
is 111. That's for sure.
Yes, that's right.
I remember he told me he loved that number.
Yes,
And
it's his magic number.
yeah, I think he did that last year as well, World Champ. And so, and free immersion, I believe it was. I mean, 100 plus for sure.
I believe 100 plus. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, he's definitely a fantastic diver. Definitely here to make a big impact, and is doing so in a big way.
such a strong spearfisher.
Yeah. Incredible
So
coach as
strong.
well.
Yes. People tell me that he is such a machine.
Yeah, I mean he is.
He
Yeah.
works a lot. He can train and still work a lot, you know?
Wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's really one of the legend we have
Yes.
in this era.
My phone is getting too hot, and it is not letting me look at the results.
On the line, we have
Smooth duck dive.
Yeah, very nice duck dive.
Representing France, the announced depth is 82 meters. The announced dive time is 3 minutes 40 seconds. 3, 4, 0. $20 down.
Is it just me, or I feel like the photographer are going deeper today?
They have been going deeper. They're really working hard to try and get our athletes
30
get
down.
as much content as possible.
I mean, he just went to 20, and I remember for my dive, I was like, why are you still here? And then there's another one popping out. I was like, oh, there's another one as well.
Yeah, I feel like that's probably Camilo. I know
40
Camilo
down.
has been doing a lot of deeper dives with the athletes, trying to get down to get to a place where we can see them free falling. Seeing a nice free fall
50
position here.
down.
That chin is nicely tucked in, looking directly at the line, not looking up or down
60
too much.
down.
He's doing like a little blink, you know? I like to do that as well. It's like, relax,
70
check the
down.
line.
Yeah, make
close
sure the
your
line is still
eyes.
there.
Yeah.
I always find it interesting to, as you go deeper and deeper, watch the color change.
Oh, yes.
Like watch the
Touchdown.
the light drop out and all of that.
Coming up.
You know, many colors change. Like a purple will be like gray, and
I believe red is one of the first colors to drop out of the spectrum.
yes.
70 up.
I think the wavelength, something about the wavelengths of light don't cut through the water enough, and as such, you begin to lose the high frequency
60 up.
ones. That might not be right. Someone can fact check me. I'm not an underwater photographer.
Do you know that some people put a red filter when they
True,
are
yeah.
filming or taking
50
photos?
up.
Yeah, and that's because they want to add more red back into the photo, yeah?
Yes.
Diver with safety.
Looking
Okay.
strong.
Yeah, still looking strong.
40 up.
Looking down. It's like, I like to do that as like, just relax and put your head down. It's like enjoying the
Yeah.
glide.
30 up.
Well, this is another one of those disciplines, along with free immersion, that you can get into quite the rhythm.
Because you don't get much stretch from looking down, but you do have a lot of stretch if you look up.
Right.
So
20, up.
Taking off the nose clip.
At 20.
At 20. Yeah, divers will do that to let some of the air flow naturally out of their mouth, or out of their nose. As we talked about in the other previous days, they will, as you go deeper, the lungs will fill with fluid.
So fast, so clean.
So clean. Oh.
That doesn't look like an 82, you know?
It does not look like an 82.
At all.
Looks like an easy 60. Big smile. So, we should see a white card here, which will mean...
Whoa, what a little kiss.
A little kiss. And a white card for Abdel. Beautiful dive. So that means he, at the moment, has 2 gold medals and 1 silver medal during this competition, which is 1, fantastic. 2, also puts him in range for the Natalia Molchanova Award for first place overall.
Yes.
As a lot of people watching at home know, each day the divers compete, they also get points for their dives that they do based on depth and completion. And at the end of the competition, all those points are added up, and the person with the overall most points receives the Natalia Molchanova Award, which is the first place award for the competition overall.
Yes.
Would you like some oxygen or anything?
No.
And it's
Very big honor.
Yeah, something we have for years. We have it last year as well.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
We will see.
We will see. Cool. So that is it for now, as it currently stands. We have Abdel in first with this discipline. We have you in second. Congratulations. And then we have Mark Enop in third. So, cool. We're going to take a quick camera break. Please make sure you're following all of our sponsors, Atmos, Double K, the Mayan Princess Resort, and the Paradise Beach Hotel. Get those dive computers. Gotta love them. Make sure you're following me at Brandon Freediver. Make sure you're following Michael at MYKO. KOKO. And make sure you're following AIDA Freediving on Instagram for all of the updates and behind the scenes stuff. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Cool.
Double K is a manufacturer of premium diving equipment in Korea, a vibrant and creative country. At Double K, we focus on constant research to develop innovative and comfortable products to enhance the experience of diving for our customers. We take pride in our cutting-edge and stylish designs, providing a sleek yet professional look whether you're in or out of the water. From wetsuits to fins, masks to equalization tools, Double K has all the freediving accessories you will need. Fall in love with your diving with Double K.
Atmos, inspired by the ocean. Location, speed, direction, altitude, atmosphere. Mission 2 is more than a watch. It follows you wherever you go. On the journey to ageless energy. We won't fear the unknown challenges. We won't hold back our curiosity. Your pulse, your tracks, your wake, the direction and achievement in your life. distance, and breath, merging with the ocean flow, our sweat cleansed in the currents. The world gets darker as we descend deeper. But your light will shine through the depth. A variety of color options. Each mission, too, embodies your personality.
Double K is a manufacturer of premium diving equipment in Korea, a vibrant and creative country. At Double K, we focus on constant research to develop innovative and comfortable products to enhance the experience of diving for our customers. We take pride in our cutting-edge and stylish designs, providing a sleek yet professional look whether you're in or out of the water. From wetsuits to fins, masks to equalization tools, Double K has all the freediving accessories you will need. Fall in love with your diving with Double K.
Atmos, inspired by the ocean. Location, speed, direction, altitude, atmosphere. Mission 2 is more than a watch. It follows you wherever you go. On the journey to ageless energy. We won't fear the unknown challenges. We won't hold back our curiosity. Your pulse, your tracks, your wake, the direction and achievement in your life. Distance and breath, merging with the ocean flow, our sweat cleansed in the currents. The world gets darker as we descend deeper. But your light will shine through the depth. A variety of color options. Each mission, too, embodies your personality.
Welcome back. We are here with part 2 of our Constantway No Fins Day for Men. Today is day 6 of the 29th AIDA Depth World Championships here in Roatan, Honduras. My name is Brandon. I'm a freediving instructor and a breath training coach, and I am here to guide you along through the rest of our journey together through today's dives. Just got out of the water. It's beautiful. Yeah. Hung out, saw some of the next competitors, just talked with Tommy Passanen, who will be diving next. Excited to be diving, just talked about how beautiful the conditions are here and how much he would love to spend some time here, actually spend it diving, training. I mean, having access to unlimited depth so close to shore is absolutely fantastic. So I am right there with him, hoping and wishing that maybe one day I will be able to spend some quality time here as well. As always, I am in the chat on the YouTube live stream, so make sure that you're posting any questions there. I did see one earlier that I wanted to get into. Let's see. Where was it exactly? Is there a discipline for the photographer? I don't believe there is an actual, like, if you're referring to like a training program for photographers, I don't believe there is. If there are, they are very small and more individual based rather than an actual certifying organization, as far as I'm aware. Could be wrong on that, but as far as I know, there is not. Another question was, how do we become a safety diver? Safeties have a really hard job, as I've said before, but it's also a very rewarding thing to do. One of the best ways you can start to become a safety diver is 1, take your freediving courses, and then 2, sign up as a volunteer for a local competition. You'll work with a head of safety who will teach you, will train you, and will sort of start you along that path.
Depth analysis 50 meters. Time analysis 2 minutes. 2:00.
Okay, Tommy is in the water. He's announced 50 meters. This is
20.
an attempt for Finland. Current Finnish record is set at 73 meters by Antero Jaiku. Met him last year in Kash, Turkey. Lovely human being, very funny, very hilarious. If you know him, you know how goofy he is and how much of a delight he is.
Touchdown!
Tommy's touching down.
Coming up! Up!
On his way up.
30 up! Diver with safety.
We can see that Tommy is throwing a little bit of a kick in at the end. He's definitely allowed to do that. Some divers have begun doing that as a way to sort of add a little bit of extra power into their kicks on the way up.
No, creo que sales de otro lado. Te vas por tierra y luego ya.
Tommy's looking nice and strong here. He's okay. Yeah, looking good. I know Tommy has a big crew at home watching and supporting him. You know, he will be joining me here momentarily. So any questions that you guys have for him, please feel free to put them in the chat. And I will definitely get him to answer them honestly and truthfully. White card for Tommy. Well done. For those who have done no fins before, you know that this is a very difficult discipline. It is physically taxing, it's hard work, and you know that even though these depths may seem relatively shallow compared to what we've seen in the past few days, you know that these are difficult dives. And these divers are, again, doing their thing at the top of their game and are absolute monsters. We see a few red cards today. We did see Alejandro's lips dip below the surface. And then we also saw Jordan Levia Alvarez of Cuba do an early turn and then finish off by grabbing the line and continuing to pull himself up. Woo. Got a little bit of movement on the surface. Everybody get hype. Let's see. Cool. Hello. Come join me.
Thank you, thank you.
It's a pleasure. Welcome.
Pleasure is all mine.
Wow, my goodness.
Yeah. You're the guy. You're the guy.
I'm the guy. That's very kind of you to say. No, you're the guy for literally just finishing a dive and jumping up.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. It was nice.
Yeah. Okay.
A
Amazing.
little bit, of course. Took out my breath, but everything okay.
Good. Awesome. Yeah, no, CNF is a discipline that I haven't spent very much time training, and I can see why it would be fun, but I haven't spent the time training it to get comfortable with it yet. So generally when I do it, I feel horrible.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I see the fun in it. I just need to spend some more time with it, I think.
Yeah, but for me it's like it helps when you train DNF in the pool. So lots of reps in DNF, and I haven't been training so much CNF actually. Just a few times per season.
Okay.
So
well, you look pretty good, so.
Yeah, well, I'm happy.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, you should be. Yeah, it was a nice dive.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Cool. I let everyone know in the chat that you were coming, so we'll check and see if there are a few questions.
Okay.
Get you to answer them.
In the meantime, I can say...
Yes, please. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello to my family, my wife Rika, my sons Elias and Julle, and of course all the freediving family in Finland. Freediving team of Finland.
Nice. Yes. Hey everybody. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. We spent a lot of time in Burgos a few months ago.
Nice times.
Nice times. Good times.
Good times.
Good sauna times.
Very good sauna times. Yeah. When it's sauna, it's always good times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Completely agree. Let's see. So we have SD asking if there's any difference for you when you dive with the dive eye versus not.
For me, nothing. Because I don't concentrate anything else than myself. So it's all like all in here, like right here. So I don't even see the dive eye when going down. I don't see like anything else than the line.
Sure.
When I'm eyes open. But then in the way up, yeah, it's fun if you see the dive eye, because in the way up it's like I'm already like almost there. So
sorry, we got it. Yeah, okay, quiet. No, totally. That's interesting.
Yeah, because when you see it like on the way up, you see the dive eye, you can also like wave or do some cha-ching, you know.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah, so but it doesn't bother me at all.
Cool. Let's see.
Basically like diving in World Championships, like last year in Cyprus and also here. It's for me, it's like the most relaxed diving.
Yeah.
Like, I mean that more relaxed than in training, because you have the best safety you can get, like 3 safety divers, and all the setup is like top notch. So it gets I get the very well, you know, I feel safe. I feel so safe that I can easily dive and easily
everything
relax.
is taken care of for you.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is just do your dive.
Yeah, just do your dive.
Yeah, lovely. Love that. Okay, we have Nadav Han coming up. He has announced 50 meters as well.
Yeah, I think there's like 4 50-meter divers today.
Yeah, we had 2 50 meters in the beginning, and we're finishing off with 2 50 meters now.
Our diver on the live is Nadav Han, representing
Okay, nice duck dive.
Yeah, nice duck dive.
50 meters.
I was a little bit stressed, only one thing, because yesterday in Women's Opener when I did my dive, I had my hood falling off straight from the duck dive. So I was a little bit worried today that, man, if it happens, I'm gonna stress a little bit, but you know, on the warm-up line, I just did like a couple of tries and slowly doing the duck dive. So when the head is down, then you can.
Sure, then you can really go for it. Yeah, it's important to note that in the beginning part of your dive, you do have to pull quite hard to get through that positive buoyancy.
Yeah, true. Looking nice and relaxed.
Yeah, nice free fall position.
Yeah.
Legs a little separated.
Yeah.
Yeah, as we always say, freediving is it's a trade-off between efficiency in your form, technique, and relaxation.
Yeah.
Because the more efficient you try and become, the more you have to engage your muscles, which means the more you have to use oxygen.
Yeah, true.
And the more relaxed you are, the more relaxed you are, but then and you're using less oxygen, but also you're a bit more out of position and you create more drag.
Yeah.
Touchdown. Okay. 40 up.
Looking strong.
Yeah, looking really good.
Yeah. So, a couple of days left.
Yeah.
Yeah, only a couple
Man,
of days.
we have 2 days left.
Up.
Yeah.
It's wild.
And then some shark diving, maybe?
Yeah, that would be super cool.
Yeah.
I'm definitely keen to do that.
Me too. My camera is waiting also.
Excellent.
It's waiting.
Up.
Still pulling quite strong.
Yeah, looking very good.
Getting a little bit of air escaping out.
Yeah, now. Yeah.
10.
Oh no, sorry, that's his nose clip is off.
Ah, yeah.
So he's letting the air escape out.
A little bit hard to see sometimes because of the glare.
There's so much glare, and we're sitting directly in the sun out here.
You should have the shadow thing here.
Yes. Ooh, hold up a little bit higher, please, Nadav.
Ah, yeah.
Whoa.
It's so
You
close
guys
to the
make me so nervous when you stay so low in the water.
True. Only one wave big enough, and it's.
Yeah. Come. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you giving me this heart attack? Come on. Okay.
All right.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
A little bit stressing.
A little bit stressful. I've seen judges give red cards because a diver put their face in the water to look for a tag stuck to their leg.
Yeah.
Like, them's the rules, and you know, the best thing you can do for yourself as a diver in a competition is keep yourself high up on the line or high out of the water.
Yeah.
Because you never know when a passing wave is going to come by and gently push some water up into your face.
Yeah.
Or, in a more worst case scenario, you are actually hypoxic and you are on the verge of having an asamba.
Yeah, but then if you're high enough...
If you're high, you can sort of continue to recover from that up there.
Yeah, because I think even in when you're hypoxic, you still can, easily... It just happens that you can stay strong on the hand.
Right.
Maybe it's a little bit it tenses.
Yeah, right.
Itself, yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, but I understand what you mean, because last year, for example, in Cyprus, there was lots of waves. And lots of currents. But here, it's just beautiful.
It's so calm.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's very beautiful here.
Yeah.
Okay. Very nice.
So, Matti is going to be soon, and then Myro also.
Myro.
Yeah, nice.
Yes.
Now it's how to pronounce.
We have Afa Zhang coming up next.
This is Afa. Okay.
That's Afa. Yes.
Okay.
Yijan Zhang, I believe. Yeah.
You speak Chinese fluently?
No, definitely not.
It sounds like it.
Well, thank you. I spent a lot of time trying to learn names, usually failing.
Man, you're doing an amazing job. So,
I'm trying my best. Let's see if we have any other questions for you in the chat. Let's see. Let's see here. Enjoyed watching Tommy's YouTube channel. Keep up the good stuff.
Nice, thank you. Thank you so much. It's nice to hear.
Yeah, what kind of stuff are you doing on your YouTube channel?
I usually do, of course, underwater, freediving related. It's for example, the last video I made, it was just about the water. I filmed when I was having a holiday in Crete. I was filming water surface and the sun patterns that comes to the bottom of the sandy bottom. So I did some slow motion stuff, and then. So check it out. It's all about the water.
I'll check it out.
Actually, the name is The Way of the Water.
Way of the Water.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Check it out at home. And what's your YouTube channel?
It's just Tommi Pasanen.
Tommi Pasanen.
Yeah,
cool.
You can find it with my name.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Like it says here.
Like it says right there.
Yeah.
Look at this product placement.
Okay.
Awesome.
Maybe I should go change. I'm feeling a little bit hot.
I totally understand.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for swinging by.
Hey, thank you so much for inviting me.
Of course, it's such a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. We'll chat soon.
Yeah, see you later.
Cool, see
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. There's one question in here. Sindaris asks, question, have you ever found yourself in a situation where at the bottom you aren't sure you can make it to the top without blacking out? That is an interesting question. I have not. And that is because I dive within my limits. I know what I am capable of. I know what my breath hold is capable of. And I also know that, or I dive in a way that is very safe. I dive with a buddy at all times. First rule of freediving, we never dive alone. Second first rule of freediving, always look good while you're doing it. But primarily, never dive alone. And in this way, I personally have never been in a situation where I was afraid I couldn't make it back up. The other thing with that is to make sure that you always have a dive plan for when you're going to dive. If you're diving on a line, go to the dive session with a plan of what you're going to do, what your max depth is, thinking about it ahead of time, making sure that you know that you're going to be comfortable with that, never pushing outside of your limits. While you're actually diving yourself, never changing that dive plan, and diving safely with your dive buddy and letting them know what you're going to be doing, and making sure that you communicate with your dive buddy if you need assistance, for example. We have Alpha Zhang of Chinese Taipei, announced 48 meters.
Diver on the line is Zhang Yixian, representing Taipei. Announced depth is 48 meters. Dive time is 2:00. 2:00.
Alpha is a beautiful diver, has a lot of experience.
20
It's
down.
also a model, underwater model, does mermaiding, and is definitely a strong competitor as well. He's taken off the last few days due to a bit of an injury on the first day. So he's back now.
40 down.
Announced a conservative 48-meter dive. Just to get back into the swing of things, have an easy win.
Coming up.
Unwrapping himself from his dive lanyard. Taking his time. He has quite a long breath hold, so he's very confident at depth.
40 up.
Please do spam your support for our divers in the chat. Wave those flags.
$30 up. Diver with safety.
Elena, I don't know if Tommy's going to be coming to Cyprus this year, but I will ask him and I'll have him make a story on his Instagram account so you guys know where he's at.
20 up.
Again, we see the fingers slightly separated here as Afa does his arm pull.
10.
Also notice the position of his elbows as he goes through the arm pull. They go out to the sides with a 90-degree bend.
Diver approaching.
We are seeing a little bit of blood coming out of his nose. Whoa. There we go, that's a big one. Divers can sometimes experience a sinus squeeze if they are congested. As we said before, as a diver goes down, the air spaces in their body are getting smaller and smaller due to the gases getting smaller and smaller, more compressed. So we have a red card. Not quite sure why it's a red card.
set is 41. We're going 7 up. Espera. 7 up. Let's go. 7 up.
Lost his tag. Ooh. Although that would not be a reason for a red card. That would be a yellow card. A diver can go all the way down and all the way back up, and if they don't have the tag, that is still just -1 point and a yellow card. So there's something here that happened that was not satisfactory to the judges, which we will find out about later. And again, being seen by the doctors, just making sure that everything's okay. The sinus squeeze, what happens is if there's a lot of congestion and you force an equalization, either you try and force an equalization and it doesn't work, and that airspace gets smaller and smaller and it basically pulls blood to the soft tissue, or alternatively at the bottom you force an equalization, it does go through, but then on the way back up that airspace expands and does not release that air. And so as such, it basically pushes on the soft tissue in the body, and therefore can also break it up and cause bleeding as well. Very unfortunate. But again, as we've said, oh, look at this. We have the overall placement of men. Never mind. We see the results from today so far. We have Abdelatif Alouache of France in first. We have Michael Ko of Chinese Taipei in second, and Mark Anop of the US in third. Each discipline has its own podium placement with its own prizes. And then, as we said, we were talking about with Michael, the overall first place in the competition with the most points overall is the Natalia Molchanova Award, which is a very prestigious award given to the overall winner of the competition for both men and women. Cool. Let's see. What else we got? Any questions? Make sure you're following me at Brandon Freediver on Instagram. Make sure you're following AIDA Freediving on Instagram. Make sure you're following our sponsors, Atmos, Double K, the Paradise Beach Hotel, and the Mind Princess Resort. Huge shout out to you guys for all of your support. Couldn't do this without you. Big thanks to Roatan Freediving as well for helping us set all of this up using this amazing platform. It's made the competition absolutely fantastic to be a part of. We really appreciate all of your help. I also want to take a moment to reach out and thank all of the athlete sponsors who are sponsoring our individual athletes. As I say all the time, your support goes so far in helping our athletes continue to develop themselves, to be able to spend less time at work, more time training. As I've said before, a lot of these divers have full-time jobs and take vacation time to come do these competitions. And as a result, I would argue that we have very few full-time competitors in this sport. If we had more, we would see deeper depths, we would see longer dive times, we'd see more refinement of technique in the disciplines, and all of that means that we get to enjoy the sport more and see what we as divers are fully capable of doing. So big shout out to the sponsors who are sponsoring our athletes as well. And one way that you can help from home is by chucking a like and a follow to all of our divers on Instagram and their social media. That makes them more attractive to our sponsors. And it's a very easy thing for you to do. So go follow all of our athletes who are diving. You can just go down the start list, find them by searching for their name. Usually it's their name _freediver, and they'll pop right up. Give them a follow, see where they're at in the world, what they're doing, what they're teaching. It means a lot to them, and it's a cool way for you to stay connected to the community. We have Matti Aronen up next of Finland. 41 meters announced depth. Hi Antero, good to see you. I was just talking about you. I'm also not quite sure what the reason was for the red card, but we will find out a little bit later. For those watching at home, Antero Joki is the current national record holder for Finland in constant weight no fins at 71 meters. Sorry, 73 meters, excuse me. It is such a pleasure, Antero. Hopefully we'll see you in cash this year.
Diver on the line is Matti Eronen, representing Finland. Announced depth is 41
A little bit of a false start with that duck dive, but we're on our way now.
2, 1, oh! 2, 1, oh!
Maddie recently set a new national record in constant weight bifins during this competition at 71 meters. He was the previous record holder who held it at 70 meters. And then he also did a 68 meter dive on the free immersion day. Entering free fall pretty early, although taking a look at his weight belt, looks like he has, those might be 2 kg blocks around his waist, and I think he has 2, so wearing 4 kgs. Yep, so there's an early turn there from Maddie at around 31.
Early turn. Early turn at 26.
Something to note with doing your dive is that the duck dive is a incredibly important and generally overlooked part of someone's dive. If you have a difficult time with a duck dive, it sort of can set the tone for the rest of the dive. Whereas if you have a really nice dive, it's very easier to, or it's much easier to sort of recover from something like that. And it's always a little frustrating too when something like that happens, especially at an event like this where you get only one attempt to do a dive. So his yellow card, no tag. He will receive some points from doing the dive. What we're seeing on the screen is not the actual realized depth that he got. The judges will use the dive computer that they're pulling off of his wrist now to track where he actually turned.
To be the ropes in the line. Is there a delay? The surface, Danny.
Hello. Hello. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, saying he has a bit of an equalization issue. Totally fine.
Okay, no worries. But your chest okay?
Yeah, feeling fine. I believe as well, this was more of just a dive to sort of continue going in the water, keep up the momentum, get a few extra points here and there. And I think for a lot of divers, really announcing deep for the constant weight day on the last day, which for men will be the day after tomorrow. We see a few red cards here today, a yellow card, so we've got the full gambit of what can happen and the results that can be given. Divers all doing okay. Oh, hello. Yeah, so we're coming up to the final discipline of the competition starting tomorrow with constant weight. For those who do not know, constant weight is where you basically use a monofin, which is a fin that has a foot pocket with 2 spots for your feet to go into. So both feet go into this one fin, and then you sort of like move and do a bit of a wave to get through the water. All the power is generated starting with your core, moving down your legs, through your hips, over your knees, over your calves, into your ankles, and then finally the kick with the ankles and the toes, all generating power, cracking like a whip through the body. If you have not tried a monofin before, you have not truly lived. Monofin is such an amazing feeling, an amazing discipline. It feels like you are flying through the water, even more so than using bifins or doing free fall. It's an incredible experience. Definitely check it out if you have not. Go borrow a monofin from a friend. Yeah, get your own. They're really great. Definitely a lot of fun. Cool. Quickly checking. Yes. Look at all of that spam in the chat. There we go. Delete. Janet, Leo, when do you visit us in Colombia? That is a good question. I would love to come visit. My friend Christian Castaño, who I met in Cash last year, is there. Love to go diving with him. Love to be diving there as well. It seems like an absolutely beautiful place to dive. This is actually my first trip into South America, which is a bit ironic to me considering that I learned and spoke Spanish fluently for 14 years, all throughout middle school and high school, elementary school, middle school, and high school. And then I moved to South Africa, where nobody speaks Spanish. So it's been really nice to be here in Roatan, to use my Spanish, to actually realize how much I still know, how much I still understand, and very quickly jump back into it'd be lovely to continue sort of a world tour around South America. So yeah, you'll have to tell me when the best time is to come to Colombia, and then we can make a plan from there. I'm all about going around the world and seeing the cool places to dive and diving with the amazing community that we all are. Miro Swampera of Finland, up next, 40-meter attempt. Doing some packing.
Our diver on the line is Miro
Doing a duck dive.
Representing Finland. The announced depth is 40 meters. The announced dive time is 1 minute 50 seconds.
We can notice that, let's see, this glare. He's doing a few equalizations here and there, reaching to pinch his nose to equalize his ears. And already entering free fall at 25.
30,
moving to place the line in his armpit as to not float away from it. That's something that a lot of divers will do. Some divers you may also see actually hold the carabiner. Yep. There we go.
Coming up.
Slapping that tag on that Velcro and coming up. On the free falls, you might see some divers who will actually hold onto the carabiner and then let the rope still continue, or let the carabiner continue to fall, and they free fall. This is just another way to sort of keep themselves close to the line while also
20 up.
Yeah, sort of keeping themselves relaxed in a position that they are comfortable with. Nice long kicks and strokes.
Diver approaching.
He's okay. Nice and easy dive. Keep going to Honduras, very underrated, and did I mention Cayos Cochinos? Yes, you did, Vladi. Yes, I will definitely try and check that out while I'm still here, and then I definitely plan to come back in the future. Just waiting for the judge's answer. There we go. Nice dive.
35 meters, 5 up, divers on the line, stand by.
Well done. Cool. We have one more diver for today, Teddy Valle of France. He's announced 35 meters.
Look.
Let me shuffle through my papers here quickly.
Hello, Ben.
Let's see, so far Teddy has done a 55 meter bifin dive. He has done a 75 meter white card dive. I believe that's what I wrote down. 75 or 76.
We need to start practicing.
So we should see a nice and chill dive from Teddy to round off the day before we move on to constant weight tomorrow and the day after. If you noticed on the schedule, we have 9 days scheduled for the competition, but we are only diving for 8 days. That one last day, the 9th day, is a makeup day. So in case of any bad weather, any time that we might have needed to cancel the comp for any reason, we have that makeup day. So even though it says that there are 9 days, we end in 2 days. So keep that in mind. Make sure you're spreading the word about the last 2 days of the competition. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys at the final 2. I'm expecting some pretty big dives, just looking at the number of divers who are not diving today. And as we were talking about with Michael, a lot of the divers will take the day off on the CNF day because it's a very physically taxing day. But they also have big plans to announce much deeper on the CNF day, or constant weight day. So I'm holding my fingers crossed for some pretty beefy dives. It'd be pretty cool to see. I especially see the women maybe doing something pretty fantastic. So fingers crossed. Now's the time to ask any final questions you may have. So throw them up in the chat. I am here. Yeah. It's been a beautiful day. It's been really great having you guys in the chat and talking with you guys. I get a lot of feedback that you guys really enjoy and like having this sort of interaction. It really helps me as well. To be fair, I can talk about freediving as much as I want, for as long as I want. But it's always a lot more fun when I know I'm answering questions that you guys have, giving you guys feedback, all of that. So a really big shout out to you guys who are watching live. Makes my day a lot more fun, and hopefully makes it a lot more enjoyable for you guys to watch as well. Yeah. Teddy Valle in the water, again with Coach Christian Maldam. Joined us quite a few times up here in the commentator space.
Official top.
Just got a message from Matus Molina, multi-world record holder, who says that he can see me struggling in the heat and recommends that I bring a towel tomorrow that I dip in the water and put on my neck, which is an absolutely fantastic idea, and I have no idea why I haven't thought of it yet. So big shout out to Matt, very much appreciate you. Actually, I have something that I need to reach out to you about that I'd love to get your feedback on and maybe work with you on. So Matt, look for a message from me soon. And thank you for the suggestion. It's very much appreciated. Today is definitely I think the hottest day that we've had so far, and it's good to see that you guys can clearly see me struggling up here. Daniel, I don't know why Blue Jump didn't grow. I suspect it was just a lack of interest from the community. If I recall correctly, we're getting ready for Teddy to go. Keep my mouth closed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
On the line we have Teddy Valet representing La France.
Teddy is
Now
going.
Is 35 meters, and our dive time is 1 minute 25 seconds. 1, 2, 5.
Sindaris asks, how does depth announcement work? May athletes change their announcements after another athlete makes theirs? No, definitely not. So all athletes about a day before announce what they're going to dive by submitting a form to the judges. They don't have to tell anyone else what they're going to dive. Definitely at the top level, there's definitely thinking about what other divers are going to be announcing to make sure that you place higher than them while also not bidding too high, essentially, to a point where you might not be comfortable or as relaxed. So yeah, divers announce the night before, and then the start list gets sent out, and then from there they show up at the time and they do their dive. Again, looking at this technique, legs kicking up nice and high, knees up to the, or ankles up to the butt. Looking up on the line, grabbing nice and high. Wants to give a special shout out to his daughter Luann, pushes him every day to do better, and of course to his coach Abdel, who's been a huge help in his training and helping him progress more and more.
White card.
That's a white card for Teddy. Congratulations. 35-meter dive in the books. Love to see it. Well done. Okay, very nice. Well, that is it for today. Make sure you're once again following all of our sponsors, Atmos, Double K, the Paradise Beach Hotel, and the Mayan Princess Resort. Make sure you're following me, Brandon Freediver, on Instagram. Make sure you're following AIDA International on Instagram as well. Posting all the behind-the-scenes stuff, all of the results from the day, all of the links for the next day. Thanks to Roatan Freediving once again. We will see you guys all tomorrow for the last day for women, the constant weight day. See you then. Have a good one. Bye.
Double K is a manufacturer of premium diving equipment in Korea, a vibrant and creative country. At Double K, we focus on constant research to develop innovative and comfortable products to enhance the experience of diving for our customers. We take pride in our cutting-edge and stylish designs, providing a sleek yet professional look whether you're in or out of the water. From wetsuits to fins, masks to equalization tools, Double K has all the freediving accessories you will need. Fall in love with your diving with Double K.
Atmos, inspired by the ocean. Location, speed, direction, altitude, atmosphere. Mission 2 is more than a watch. It follows you wherever you go. On the journey to ageless energy. We won't fear the unknown challenges. We won't hold back our curiosity. Your pulse, your tracks, your wake, the direction and achievement in your life. Distance and breath, merging with the ocean flow, our sweat cleansed in the currents. The world gets darker as we descend deeper. But your light will shine through the depth. A variety of color options. Each mission, too, embodies your personality.